Yo, my dudes. So, a few days ago, I finished watching Godzilla Singular Point, and I fucking love it. There are many reasons why I love Godzilla Singular Point, but I will only give a nutshell about my thoughts because I don't want this video to be very long. So firstly, I like how Godzilla Singular Point is basically a tribute to all eras of Godzilla, to the Showa, Heisei, Millennium, and surprisingly, even the Reiwa era too. And another thing I like about Godzilla Singular Point, it's literally 1,000,000 times better than the anime trilogy. Like geez, it's so much better. And lastly, I love the opening song and the end credit song they use in the anime. And not to forget, the official soundtrack is also good as well. So, how can anybody, literally anybody, hate Godzilla Singular Point? I can argue it's one of the best things that come out in this Reiwa era of Godzilla. Like seriously, how can anybody hate this? You son of a... Now, before the rant video starts, I was actually going to talk about two people who made shit reviews of Godzilla Singular Point. But here's the thing, the first review got removed. So let's just review and rant about the second guy's video, aka Caleb's review on Godzilla Singular Point and why it quote-unquote sucks.
Okay, sorry. Hey everyone, my name is Caleb Janssens and I review everything that gets released on Netflix, and today we're going to be talking about Godzilla and... I've watched a lot of crap on Netflix.
Oh really? Same here.
I've never been so angry while watching a series as I was while watching this. I don't even know what to say other than I am so happy that this series is finished and I don't have to watch it anymore. Because it was an infuriating experience. Okay, I'm going to give you a little bit of history about me, Caleb Janssens, and my relationship with Godzilla. Godzilla is a character that I love. So I remember watching the old Godzilla films, like black and white films, and I spent months doing research on the characters and watching all of the different Godzilla films, even the bad, crappy American one that's now just known as Zilla. I was looking at Shin Godzilla, I watched all the new films, and I was like, yo, you know what, finally we're getting some more Godzilla content here on Netflix.
Okay, so this guy is claiming he's a Godzilla fan. He watched some of the old movies, he doesn't like the 98 movie, aka Godzilla movie, and he watches the new ones, specifically the Godzilla vs. Kong and majority of the MonsterVerse. But okay, to be honest, I highly doubt that, but I'll explain that later in the video.
You know what, finally we're getting some more Godzilla content here on Netflix. Holy crap, this was just the worst thing I've watched in a long time. This series has nothing to do with Godzilla other than its name. The lead character of Godzilla is such a far cry from the Godzilla that most of us know and love or fear. This series is ultimately about a bunch of really annoying human characters trying to figure out what this massive catastrophe is going to be, and there's a bunch of time traveling rubbish and a bunch of different periodic element rubbish and a bunch of different stupid scientific rubbish. The series tries so hard to be intelligent and smart, and the entire story is so convoluted with a bunch of pointless characters that do nothing to add to the plot, and you're just sitting here going, I wanted to watch Godzilla.
Okay, so the first point he said that Godzilla didn't do much in the show. He didn't do much, he didn't have a big role in the show. And secondly, he said that the characters didn't guide the story well. Well, they're basically bad characters, basically what he said. And the third point is the anime was just pretending or trying to be smart and stuff. But I highly disagree with these three things, these three statements that he said. Because firstly, Godzilla had a big role in the anime, by the way, to begin with, if you pay attention. Because 1. Godzilla destroyed and take over majority of Tokyo. Not only that, also, he attracted 2 other species of kaiju that also fucked up Tokyo. And not only that, there was a theory said by one of the characters, if Godzilla evolves again from his Ultima form, it might destroy the damn universe. Yes, the whole universe. That puts burning Godzilla's ability of blowing up the planet and makes it level 0. It makes it look like a fucking kindergartner made that idea. But Godzilla Ultima can destroy the fucking universe. But keep in mind, that's only said by one character, and it's a theory, so I don't know, it might happen. And by this point of the story, Godzilla turned into crystals and explode basically. But who knows, it might happen in season 2. But at the end of the day, I can say that Godzilla from Godzilla Singular Point have a big role in the story. Even though he didn't do much, quote unquote, by his part, he had a big role. Okay, now let's talk about the second point he talked about. The characters being not good for the plot, or basically in my understanding, not guiding the story very well. I highly disagree with that because here's the thing. The characters are likable, they're fun, and they have cool ass designs. I don't know what the hell is he talking about, like, interesting characters, but at least they're not boring, unlike the anime trilogy. Now, the final thing that bothers me to the most is the guy literally complained about the anime being smart. Have you didn't realize this is a science fiction story? Like, bruh. The story, it was trying to tell you what's been going on through science and shit. And the characters are literally fucking intelligent and try to guide the viewer on what's been going on. Heck, they even explained what's going on in a fight scene where May used a fucking jelly and a toothpick. Have you didn't realize that it's supposed to be a science fiction? Obviously, it's gonna pretend to be smart and shit. Even though it's fiction, it's still science. They're still trying to explain what's going on to our eyes. It's like me saying, oh, I hate Star Wars since it's all about space and space magic, blah blah blah. It's I don't get this, man.
The series is called Godzilla, and the dude only appears, if I remember correctly, in episode 8. And he's there for like 30 seconds. I'm pretty damn sure if you took all the screen time of Godzilla over this like 12 episode series, he's there for less than 4 minutes. Okay, so let's just be 100% honest and real right now. If you're watching this series because you're a fan of Godzilla, you're wasting your time. He's barely in it, and when you do finally see him, he's not the Godzilla that we know, love, fear, or are petrified, or actually want to engage with. This version of Godzilla is just boring.
Okay, that statement right there of Godzilla Ultima being boring and stuff, it's kind of a bit funny. Well, I'll talk about it more later on in the video. Okay guys, let's be honest here. I actually agree with Caleb with Godzilla having less screen time, but here's the thing. It's always been like that for, I don't know, the past few decades when Godzilla was popular. He always doesn't get screen time. So why talk about it now in Godzilla Singular Point, but don't talk about it when you're talking about the Showa film, since, I don't know, you're a true Godzilla fan when you watch the original movies? Well, I can smell a bias over here. And one final thing to mention. You said this anime is not good for old Godzilla fans. That's bullshit. I almost watched all of the Godzilla movies except for Raids again because they said that's a piece of shit. But besides the point, I love Singular Point. And coming from an old Godzilla fan, it's one of the best out of the Reiwa era. And plus, I can say Godzilla Singular Point is also good for newcomers to the Godzilla community because it has all the elements from the other eras, and I bet they will enjoy it. So what the fuck are you talking about, Caleb? This gotta be a good introduction series to the new fans and a good anime for the old fans, my man. Come on.
I'm all up for character reinventions. I mean, Shin Godzilla is so different to any other form of Godzilla we've ever gotten, but I loved it. This version of Godzilla is boring, ugly to look at, uninteresting, nothing redeemable about him.
Okay, let's be honest. You could pretty much say that to any type of character who has a different design or different rendition of the original appearance. It's so easy to say something like that. Like, here's something to prove my point.
Godzilla is boring, ugly to look at, uninteresting, nothing redeemable about him.
See what I mean?
If you're here looking for an anime series with great action, you're not going to get that here. There are so few actual conflict scenes, and when they do happen, they are boring.
Jeez. You gotta be serious, right? He thinks everything that happened in Singular Point is boring? Jesus Christ. If a car crash happened in front of him, I think he'll think it's boring as paint drying in a wall. Jesus Christ, man.
Our primary protagonist in the series, or if you want to talk about the person that fights the kaiju, it's Jet Jaguar. This version of Jet Jaguar sucks.
Well, are you sure though? Well, if that's the case, why do 87% people like Jet Jaguar? Thank God I'm done with this review. Well, to be honest, I really doubt if Caleb is a true Godzilla fan because one, I noticed he doesn't talk about the Easter eggs that are in the show or in the credits. And secondly, he only watches these Godzilla movies. Yeah, they're kind of few. And nextly, I don't like that the video is just him trashing on the series and didn't even mention one single good thing about the show. He didn't like the red dust. He said he did like it, but later on he also trashed on that as well. But at the end of the day, do not send hate to Caleb janssens. He is just sharing his own opinion about Godzilla Singular Point. Even though his opinion is very, very bad, at the end of the day, he's just sharing his own thoughts about the series, and I should respect that since it's his own opinion. I can criticize it, but it's his own opinion about the series. Well, that's it for me, and thanks for watching, and see you guys next time. Bye-bye.